Fucking Discord. It like
Hello there. What's wrong with
Captain Blood
Discord?
of Kirby.
Cat.
Discord
Woo!
Discord always opens when I don't want it to, and now that I actually want it to open, it won't fucking open. It's really annoying.
That could be a problem. Okay, let's see here. Sup, Captain? Glad you could make it from the far reaches of French Canada. We'll be drawing up Beastman today. And gonna do a little history of the character before I start.
Why won't you open?
And if you're wondering who the other voice is, that's Carrie,
Hi.
who I'm sure you're aware of through posts on Patreon and all that. See here. So I don't know how much anybody knows really about the origins of the He-Man characters, the Masters of the Universe characters, but most of them were designed by one Mark Taylor, who is a madman, kind of like a weird dude with heavy metal sensibilities. Any He-Man character is going to be awesome. I agree. I'm a big fan.
Yes, me too.
Big fan. I have a lot of DVDs of He-Man episodes and whatnot. But Beastman started out conceptually as this red bear thing. And it was originally called something like the Red Wood Demon or some weird thing like that.
Whoa.
And then it got refined into this, which was the first version of Beastman, but it wasn't called Beastman yet. It was just like animal thing. kind of like we want this
dude.
bestial animal man. And there's some stuff in here that I really love. Like I really love the bracers with the weird claw things on them and the sort of motifs that look like a cross between some sort of like Mayan and Victorian kind of thing, like all at the same time. I like the shoulder pads, but I don't so much like the weird tenderly spikes.
I love the tenderly spikes, but you're the boss here.
Yeah. And then what do we got? Oh, something's going on here. Not able to do the thing. Okay, let me reopen this. There we go. And this is the final refined Beastman. He looks very much like the final version, but instead of having so much blue, there's more gold. He's got these weird hand spike things, and you got like underwear, the furry underpants spilling over his belt, which has more of a leather with studs look, which I might employ. I'm planning on doing a Beastman that's basically taking the best of all versions of the early Beastman designs and putting them all into one. And then you get like here I got this reference. So like when I color him later, I can actually reference the Pantones that were meant to be used for the final plastic. And here we got some stuff from the mini comic that came with Beastman, drawn by the amazing Alfredo Alcala, who was most known at that point for doing a lot of artwork for the Savage Sword of Conan magazine comic, which I'm sure Captain Blood of Kirby is very familiar with. I'm certain of it. I love here, just beyond the Beastman weirdness, because he's not colored according to the proper design specs that were for the toy. Yes, absolutely. He's not colored for the final design specs for the toy for some reason. Something went wrong in the communications, as does with a lot of this kind of stuff. But I love this drawing of Tila here. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And then you can see fucking Skeletor's glutes look pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, he's got all the glutes back there. He's been doing squats.
Fighting that weird unicorn thing. Keep triggering some sort of thing with that. Okay. And this is I think one of the final panels in the comic that came with Beastman. You had He-Man lifting him up. I love the Alfredo Alcala's like gesture, like a body, like kind of body language with Skeletor here. He's like really ghoulish, really fun. Something that kind of went missing with the Filmation stuff. Of course, like there's a more of a darkness and a brutality to Alcala's artwork that, again, never made into the Filmation vibes. And again, we've got this really great drawing of Tila back here. He-Man's also amazing, but somehow, like, I feel like He-Man and Man-at-Arms are the least fun things in this drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this weird drawing by Alcala where I assume, like, I barely remember any of this stuff from being a kid. I assume it's Skeletor's, like, talking to him telepathically or something. And he's going from tree to tree, brachiating.
Is this actually from the show?
No, this is from the mini comics that came with the action figures, which had an entirely different mythology.
Yeah, mythology. I was going to say, I don't remember Beastman swinging from trees like an ape.
Yeah, well, he has the action figure has really long ape-like arms, and they reused that figure for the base of Stratos and Mossman, which so it has the same proportions or whatever. And Stratos himself has like a very ape-like face, but instead of being all fangy and stuff, it's all like lips and kind of smiles, and he looks like a nice monkey, a nice flying monkey man. Which I wonder if Stratos is a tribute to like the Wizard of Oz flying monkeys. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah. But no, these are from the comics. They had a very different mythology. Their mythology for those comics were that it was a far-flung future of a planet where technology ruined everything and sort of magic and everything returned, but you still had all this leftover science.
So it's kind of like, what do you call it? Thundar?
It's kind of like Thundar the Barbarian or Wizards, but the big difference is that they've got this technology laying around, and that's what all the vehicles are, but no one knows how to repair it. No one knows how to do anything with it, which I find really compelling. So they're using it until it falls apart, and then they can't use it anymore.
Okay.
And I think that's a really interesting fiction, like this forgotten thing, but they're able to use it because of sort of common human factoring elements.
Yeah. So did the comics did every toy come with a comic?
Every one of the first two series of toys came with a comic.
Because we never got any brand new,
at least,
He-Man toys.
Oh, I see.
All of mine came from garage sales.
I got the first. I got regular He-Man, Skeletor, and a couple others from the first series as presents for like my birthday or Christmas or something. But then the second series, which had characters like Many Faces and couple like Mechanic and other things like that. I got all of those because my next door neighbor's dad worked at Children's Palace, and he's like,
that's a good hookup.
I want my neighbor's kid to have the toys to play with my kid and not be jealous or whatever. He was really nice. And being that we all lived in the ghetto, that was even cooler. It's like, I don't know why a manager from a Children's Palace was living in the ghetto, but maybe they didn't. Maybe manager at Children's Palace really didn't pay that well.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Another Alcala drawing from one of those mini comics. Yeah, Beastman again, colored completely red, holding unconscious Tila, and you can actually see Stratos there, which I don't know what Stratos is doing with the bad guys because Stratos is a good guy. Mm-hmm. But maybe that was retconned for the show. Maybe in the comics Stratos was meant to be a bad guy. I don't know. With the initial action figure launch, because that's another thing is the action figures launched more than a year before the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the mythology was different. You also didn't get this communication thing where like Filmation was like, this is too dark. This is not going to work as a children's cartoon. And maybe they were right, because you look at something like Thundar the Barbarian, and Thundar the Barbarian is about that dark. There's a grimness to Thundar the Barbarian that I absolutely love. But I could see why it wouldn't be considered suitable for children or something, right? At least that's my take. And then here we have the cross-cell art, the final cross-cell art, which is fully reflective of the final action figure, except for a couple of things which are weird. Like, they went out of their way to do the shitty, like, airbrush spot on his chest for the symbol, but at the same time they kept his weird, like, knuckle duster spikes, which makes no sense. I don't know, which aren't on the action figure. The action figure hands just look like some really, really vascular monster hands. And here you got this art by a guy named Errol McCarthy. He did a couple of great pieces that were for the second, like they did an initial release, which were on different packaging than the second wave release, because He-Man was so popular that it pretty much immediately sold out. And when they did a second wave release, they did them on longer blister packs, like the dimensions of the cardboard backing was different, and they'd have these like action illustrations on the back. And this dude Errol McCarthy did almost all of those. And even though I have some issues with the way he draws certain things, like He-Man's face is real fucking weird. And that leg, I don't know what's going on there.
What his face looks like?
Huh.
He looks like Luke Skywalker's face at the end of the Empire battle with Darth Vader, when he's no!
It was the same year. No, it was the year later. Maybe it was the same. I don't know. He's either 82, 83, and Jedi came out in 82. But I really like the gesture going on, the emotion going on here. Like, I don't necessarily like the final drawing, but I like the motion. I like the action, and I like the overall visceral feeling of it, which is why I downloaded it to look at. And again, you see this like very like faithful to the toy aesthetic. And then this one here was for a licensing catalog thing to advertise to people to do things like stickers, like to other companies to do like stickers and stuff like that. So this would be in a trade catalog that wouldn't be like viewable by the public, but viewable to people that made like coloring books, stickers,
iron-on patches that you got in your cereal boxes.
Yeah, stuff like that. Exactly.
I had a Orko. I think my brother got He-Man and I got Orko, and my mom put them on our hoodie, so we each had a He-Man hoodie.
Captain Blood of Kirby says that the mythos was all over the place early on. Yes, it really was all over the place. It was really weird. All right, let's see what else we got here. I'm just going through this here because I want to sort of like set the mood for where I'm going with this, because I'm going to be doing my own take. And here we have the earliest iteration of Beastman for the Filmation cartoon, which this is fucking weird. He's got like Clydesdale hooves, which Carrie pointed out, the Clydesdale thing with the furry thing. It gives the impression of like bell bottoms.
Yeah, he's ready to disco and murder some people.
Yeah, he's ready to disco, murder, angry disco.
Yep.
And he's got like a weird thing where like what does he have, a backpack of red fur with spikes?
Yeah.
It's very strange. Doesn't look right.
And his head kind of is sort of Viking-ish almost.
Well, yeah, it gives off the Viking vibe because he's got this giant beard.
Yeah.
He's like he's giant beard. And and to be clear, there's a type of monkey that actually has the blue in there with the orange. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it's called. But there is it's a very cute monkey that's got a blue markings around the mouth and the eyes, like bright blue with kind of pale and then orange everywhere else. And people theorize that maybe the coloration was based on that, but I don't know. I don't know if Mark Taylor was reading National Geographic or something. I don't fucking know. um.
Also, damn, look at those titties.
Oh yeah, he's got some big ass titties.
He does.
Yeah. And then here there was a Masters of the Universe animated trailer or commercial for the toys that was done by Filmation, and it was really well rendered. And they used the toys as direct references for the model sheets. And these are those like some of those model sheets. So you see that it looks a lot more just like, here's the toy, like, directly. Again, a little close up of the cell shaded Beast Man from that. The upper lip isn't blue though. Like it should be a blue lip. They're going full in. And then, here's just like here's the reference image for what I created the thumbnail for the stream from. I actually redrew it, reversed it, recolored it, did my own like high resolution kind of vibe for it, and gave it more of a toy edit coloring with blue lips and all that. And then here's the toy. Which, real fucking weird deco on that face, but gotta love the toy. Just the vibes. So you see the hands are a lot more just like standard hands. There's no spikes. It's just kind of like regular ass hands, but like muscly or whatever.
Big ass Popeye arms, Jesus.
Big Popeye. Well, all those guys had big Popeye arms, but his arms were longer than anyone else's. They went all the way down to his knees. Close up on that beautiful mug. Gotta love those forward-facing nostrils. Then here's the Classics toy, which, man, that is pretty.
That's really nice.
Yeah, the Classics line is something I wish I could get on, but man, they're expensive, especially in the aftermarket. When I was just looking around at images, I saw a listing for this for $170.
Good God.
They're limited runs. I think they made less than 500 of each figure or something.
Wow.
Because they were made to sort of made to order. So that's that. Keep those up for reference on the side here. Which version do you love? The Yeah, he says he wishes they'd be cheaper. Now they're way too expensive. I would only be able to like get into that if I was a fucking millionaire somehow. Just like, yeah, send some fucking lackey out to go get me the Motu people or the Motu toys. And now they like Super 7 is handling all that instead of Mattel directly, and they're doing the Thundercats now, and they've got the fucking the big cat tank thing. I can't remember the fucking name of it, but that thing is fucking huge. Like these are 6-inch figures, and it's scaled to fit like 8 6-inch figures in it.
Holy crap!
Like you need a fucking room for that shit.
Yeah.
It's like if I was to get that new, I'm a big Transformers collector. It's what all that stuff is. Way in the back where it's purple.
You can't
behind me. You can't really see it at all.
You can't see it at all.
But Hasbro did a Unicron this year, and it's so fucking big that it would be a centerpiece of my fucking kitchen. Like it's so fucking huge. All right. Let's get to drawing. I kind of have an idea already. Change the colors up here. Kind of have a drawing already, or an idea already of what I want to do. Proper brush. Just a rough pencil. I'm going to start out just doing rough gesture of like the body would be shaped. These big, long fucking forearms. Yeah, Super 7 does really good stuff. They are super expensive. Even their 5 points of articulation figures are just way fucking overpriced. I can't stand it. Already got to shrink this down. I have a new mic setup, which makes me have to look around it to look at some of the menus in Photoshop here.
It looks funny on camera.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does the crazy lighting look fine?
Yeah, looks good.
How's the audio out there? How's it sound to everybody? Why is it so huge? Oh no. Don't do this. Oh fuck.
What?
Really?
What's happening?
Having some problems. Gotta relaunch the driver.
Apparently the audio's perfect.
Audio's perfect?
That's what Captain
Sweet.
Blood of Kirby says.
Alright, I have to save this. Why does my fucking Cintiq driver have to crash in the middle of this? Alright. Then go down to Wacom. Alright, restart. Let's hope this works. Go away, close, alright. Then reopen the Photoshop. Don't mind my messy desktop.
That's nothing.
It's not working. Motherfucker. 1,000. Da 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 da. Now everything's fucking confused. Now my mouse isn't even working right. What the fuck is going on? I am sorry about this, people. I could not have foreseen this. Everything's behaving really fucked up. Out of nowhere. No, not that. Task manager, come on. End task. All right. Restart. Stop it. And restart it again. Jesus. Start service. Okay. Give it a 10 count.
Cool wallpaper, he says.
Yeah, it's some Mobius. It's a really great piece. He did a few pieces that they do this. Not working. I'm afraid I might have to restart the stream, people. Because I may have to restart my fucking computer. Because this is not working.
Does this happen to you, like, normally?
No, it doesn't. What the shit?
Is it just stuck on the...
Well, what it is like it won't do the sensitivity thing. All right, wait, they did that. Okay. It's not doing the brush size. Why isn't it doing brush size? It's everything. All right, so most of the things are working except for the brush size. Okay, that's really weird.
Did you get it?
Maybe, kind of. Let's see about this. So I have a wheel on the side of my Cintiq that's supposed to give me a different brush size. And okay, there we go. I found it. I figured it out. All right, cool. Everything's working fine. Ooh, don't have to restart. Jesus.
That's good.
That was annoying. I figured out what the problem was. It wasn't so much that the Cintiq had stopped working, which it actually had stopped responding, but it was that I hit the caps lock button, which changes the way the symbol works.
Ah. Dang old caps lock button.
Yep. All right, where was I? That was, that was stressful. All right, let's get to drawing some titties. Drawing some man tits. Clavicle in there. So my idea here is to have this apish motherfucker coming in. With his trademark whip, ready to slap some motherfuckers. I gotta remember to do his forearms ridiculously long. Disproportionately long forearm. It's I want a very sort of ridiculous perspective on this. Oh, actually, I'm gonna do this.
I need to get myself a beverage.
Oh, we do have beverages over here.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we started a little late is because this Trappist ale from Belgium, I assume it's from Belgium.
Yes, Orval.
Yeah, well, it exploded as I tried to open it, and we had to have an emergency cleanup.
And now the studio smells like beer.
Yeah, the studio smells like beer. Though it's blending into my whatever. It's blending in for me. So let's do this.
Open my ginger beer.
Make that arm going to the front even more ridiculous. But can we do something even more ridiculous with this pose? Yeah, I'm gonna change the tilt of this pose a bit. Make his back a little more up here. Make his chest a little shallower. So his ass would be up here, and you see like maybe his. And then, yeah, something like this.
Oh man, that ginger beer is Spicy.
Reed's is awesome.
I got the extra one too.
Yep, the extra is the best. Yeah, this is maybe not even exaggerated.
I know, I think I like Bundaberg better, but it's good.
Bundaberg is sweeter, which I think makes it go worse in some ways with alcohol.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe I just have had Reeds so much in my life that I'm a little bit partial to it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Used to drink it at hard times constantly. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's good that you can see the action pose. I think his head needs to be a little bit. There we go. Then I'm gonna like. Brah! And maybe like this. Foot coming down. And yeah. And the other foot would be over here. And I'll rotate this a bit. And
Cheater.
scale it down just a little bit. Bring it over here.
Oh, I can't drink alcohol right now. That immediately triggered the headache to come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get to have the rest of this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
And because I like to fuck things up a bit, I'm going to distort this even more. Give it a little bit of a weird feel. And to the big butt of his whip. With his knuckle guard. I think yeah, the rough's down for this.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Bring up a refinement layer. Okay. I'm gonna start looking more closely at these and start making choices. Got these references. All right. Feel out my arrow keys here. This is a very tight setup we got going on. It's very difficult to figure out what to do. All right, I definitely want. Yeah, I'm gonna start out. Do a cross between. Do a cross between the wrist guards on this guy and the bracelets on this guy. Cross those up. Make my own sort of design out of the two different iterations. See what we can do. You know, I actually think that forearms down here can be longer. Try that over here. Ooh. Maybe a bad idea. Oops. Let us copy, delete, paste. All right. Better. Then I can beef up those forearms. As I've said on previous streams, doing my roughs digitally just cuts out a lot of waste because I would just be throwing away paper at this point. Let's delete this whip, redo that easily enough. You can hear my sister and my mom outside the door. I even like that path better. Fills up the space nicely. I'm gonna put in some slobber. Pre-do some slobber here.
Nice.
And that. Merge it down. 1.5 again. Wait, what just happened? Not merge down. There we go. 5. There we go. Back up here to refine it. All right. Now, these wrist things. So the final toy version has some kind of like weird beading thing that kind of like that. There's a sort of separation to do like almost a gauntlet vibe. I don't know. Let's see about this. Let's make my eraser small. Still only got Captain watching. Oh well.
It's alright. People will watch it later.
I tell you, you're the only one watching. You're going to get this drawing. So don't feel bad about that.
Yep.
You're going to get the final inch drawing. Okay. You know, I kind of see why it'd be 3 pokers, because you could go between where the finger openings are and you wouldn't be so prone to stab yourself.
Are you saying that someone actually employed practical ideas when designing a toy?
Say it isn't so. Okay. Just kind of trying to be real loose with this one. I feel like gotta be a little wild with the wild man.
Oh yeah.
I think Masters of the Universe would be a really great franchise to get a hold of and just go crazy with the lore.
Mm.
I think I'd do a good job with it. Then again, I'm arrogant that way.
What would you do?
Well, I'd bring back some of that bleakness because I think, you know, one of the things about Masters of the Universe is the brand is at a lot of trouble coming back for kids. It just doesn't work. The name He-Man itself, it's too gendered, it's something, I don't know. It just doesn't work for kids these days.
It's too old-timey.
It's too old-timey, something. It and the sort of brutal sword and sorcery inspired fantasy that it comes from, the sort of like post hoc Conan meets Flash Gordon kind of a vibe. John Carter of Mars, all that kind of stuff. It stopped resonating after the 90s. Yeah, Sword and Sorcery is not huge right now, which is sad. Is real sad because I think things like there was a Conan series that was supposed to go into Amazon and it got shelved because they couldn't figure out a way to diversify the cast enough, especially with the main guy being a white dude, essentially. Though the last person who played him, Jason Momoa, he's what?
Yeah, I don't think
Pacific Islander.
I don't think Conan needs to be a white dude.
I don't either. But I think the whole masculine element of it, that he's maybe even just that he's heterosexual. I don't fucking know.
No, maybe, or unashamed of his masculinity.
Yeah, totally unashamed.
Yeah.
Conan is not a character who's ashamed of anything.
No.
Yeah, Kirby says, "Don't remind me." Yeah, it's sad that it was in development and then it just got shelved, which means it's never gonna happen. We've got to switch this around to the bottom. But yes, it's not popular. People don't like that brutalist kind of thing. Maybe they're thinking about how in a few years when civilization collapses, it's all just gonna fucking be like that anyways.
Yeah, so we don't want to be reminded.
Yeah, they don't want to be reminded.
But yet they love shit like fucking Walking Dead. So
yeah, they love Walking Dead, but there's still a reminder of people trying to put on airs of rebuilding civilization or something. I don't fucking know. But anyways, He-Man has not been made to resonate with people in the last 20 years. They relaunched it in like 2001 or 2 or something. The cartoon was okay. The reimagining of mythology was kind of good. But, Conan is too much for today's society. I actually think, and I know this is a controversial opinion, I actually think Conan was too much for when Milius made those Conan movies in the 80s.
Mm.
Because those are not true to anything about Robert E. Howard's stories. Like, Robert E. Howard's stories wrote Conan as a much more of a smooth character. And I think that the sort of big, dumb dude that that Schwarzenegger portrays him as is just not sufficient to communicate the thing. Because something that not a lot of people know is that Conan gave birth to noir because of its stories. Like
Jesus Christ, sorry.
What did you just do?
My fucking phone is making noises and I can't make it stop. Sorry, I'm a boomer.
Yeah, the 2001 series had a really awesome reimaginings of the mythos. The new origin for Skeletor was really fun. I really liked all that stuff. I guess I gotta drink this thing. Could you do me a favor, Carrie?
Yeah?
Could you get rid of these limes that are sitting in it?
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second.
I'm gonna make his mouth a little bit more open. I did not see the comics, but I would go back if I could find them for a reasonable price and get them.
God damn it! I wish I could drink this. This really tasty.
Oh, I'm liking the character of this beard. Ooh. Yeah, I love all those, like Alcala and Nestor Redondo, all those Filipino dudes that came into comics in the 70s and just brought this kind of new brutality to the art. Oh, try to channel some of that.
So, you didn't finish your story about what you would do to He-Man.
Oh, so yeah, I don't think that. I'm not familiar with Brett Booth off the top of my head. Captain Blood of Kirby mentioned Brett Booth was on the
Chat.
the comics
Oh.
that came out in the early 2000s. But I'm not familiar with him off the top of my head. I was sort of out of anything mainstream comics for a really long time, and I didn't come back in. Like I was reading a lot of Dan Klaus, a lot of Acme Novelty Library, Al Columbia, a lot of indie shit, a lot of stuff that was very counterculture. And I didn't really get back into mainstream comics until Grant Morrison did his run on the X-Men with the new X-Men. And I thought that was okay, but it kind of ended terribly. And that got me wanting to have that sort of, like, you know, I was always a Marvel person, and it got me sort of having to want that in my life a little bit again. So I started reading some of the Bendis Avengers stuff that was happening back then. But I didn't really get into much else. Oh, I read the was it Kurt Busiek Conan that was going on at the time that was a lot more true to the source material. That was pretty fun. Yeah, the ending of the new X-Men was awful, and the fact that Frank Quitely couldn't stay on for all the issues really soured things too, because the fill-in artists were just not up to that. They were not up to that level. Carrie Nord on the Conan, that was really good on the Kurt Busiek Conan. Oh, that is tasty.
I told you.
Ooh.
I'm very sad that I don't get to drink it.
I'm even sad that you don't get to drink it, even though I get to drink it instead of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carrie Nord's great. He's got a really just amazing immediacy to his work. All right, I'm going to go back to this wristband thing. EVS was pretty good. But Igor Corday? EVS. What is EVS? EVS. I don't know who Igor Corday is either. Doing Rush stuff, and it has suffered a lot. Great artist when he applies himself. Igor Corday. I don't know who Igor Corday is either. To look him up. The thing that really made me enthusiastic about getting back into, like, I guess, Cape books and a lot of more... Oh, both were the fill-in artists on Morrison's X-Men. Yeah, that stuff, I hated it. I really hated that stuff. Ooh, man, I remember one issue just, like, made me not want to come back the next month. I was that just pissed off about it. And then I think, you know, by the time they brought Silvestri back in, who I pretty much thought sucked since he left Marvel. When he brought Silvestri back in the end, it just felt like a weird kind of cop out. And it just like oh, here we go. Here's just some member berries. Here's some member berries back to when Claremont was doing X-Men. You know who Mark Silvestri is. Buy the fucking book and shut up. And Mark Silvestri had not been good, as far as I'm concerned, since he stopped partnering with Dan Green and started doing the sort of Image House style kind of shit, aping Jim Lee, who I'm not a fan of. I you know, a lot of people hate it when I say it. I've gotten into fights over it, almost physical fights in the past.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't believe how many fucking punk kids love, like punk rockers love Jim Lee artwork.
Huh.
It's really weird.
I just think it looks boring.
Yeah, I feel like Jim Lee is a cross between like manga sensibilities applied to John Byrne, and that doesn't work. And I feel like John Byrne himself only works sometimes. I think he only worked really early on in his X-Men run. I think after he moved on to doing things like Fantastic Four and Superman, his work just got way too stiff. And you could even see it start happening after the Dark Phoenix saga. It just got way too stiff, way too rigid and predictable. And it just comes down to that kind of thing of like artists that draw the same face every time they draw. They draw the same face, they draw the same body types. They don't really vary anything. They basically draw the same man, the same woman, and when they're asked to do like a normal person, they can't really do it. Yeah, you think by Scott Williams. Scott Williams, there's a funny thing about Scott Williams, right? Scott Williams, I don't like his inks. It's got that really slapdash kind of like I don't even know how to describe it in it with proper sort of adjectives. It feels slappy. It feels wet all the time, and it doesn't really pay credence to classic sort of ideas of line weight to communicate light sources and things like that. Instead, it's just like, here's a bunch of fucking lines. Deal with it. And I don't get into that. And the weird thing about him, though, is he's a really good painter. He still does this kind of art that like looks like a painted version of that sort of Jim Lee Image House style, but it looks a lot better than his ink work because he's not using any lines. There's no lines involved. So you don't have to worry about it being super busy. Yeah, Byrne was drawing way too many series, and he was also writing too much, and he was doing a lot of really fucked up shit. Like, I think there was something when he relaunched Superman, he had Big Barda get raped, or some fucking stupid thing. I don't know. It's really fucked up to me. I couldn't do it. Although I am liking this. I'm liking his face right now.
I'm really liking this face.
Good times.
Kind of looks like he kind of has a little bit of tired old man going on.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
He's like, I'm done with your shit.
I'm so done with your shit. I'm gonna whip you. Shit. I'm gonna shrink his face. I'm starting to have head size creep.
I mean, shouldn't Beastman have kind of a giant head?
No, I'm looking at this reference work, and he has a tiny fucking melon.
All right.
And I like that because he's got this giant monkey body.
True.
He's a gorilla.
Yeah, gorillas have big fucking heads, though.
Not for their body. Well, no, not for their body size.
I was just looking at some gorillas last week. They got big fucking heads.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We got great big bodies. We got great big heads.
Big heads.
Bring his eyes down here. I can even make this a little bit smaller. Oh. Listening to a lot of talking heads lately. Makes me feel good. Yeah, she was forced into a porno with Superman.
What?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was really just like, what the fuck, guy? And I love Big Barda. She's one of my like I'm not a DC guy, and Big Barda is one of the few DC characters. So I'm like, yeah. Like I like Big Barda. I like pretty much all the Fourth World characters because I'm a big Kirby head. But Big Barda, particularly, like I've like I did a drawing of Big Barda and Thor about to make out.
Oh, yeah, that
for
was
Kirby's
great.
100th birthday.
I like that a lot.
Like I'm a big fan of Big Barda. Get these big flappy ears, yeah, like that. Just going with his head right now. Can't help it. Let's make his brow ridge even meatier.
Mm-hmm.
Give some meat to these. Whoa. Yeah. A little vein popping into his temple here. He's got a weird ridge of bone structures. Yeah, Big Barda is definitely the cooler Wonder Woman. I can't stand the fucking the trio, the whatever they call it, the It's the same thing as the Catholic Church. What is that?
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity. Yeah, the DC Trinity. I've even gone out of my way to really fucking make fun of them hard with some of my artwork. I did a drawing of them all as hipsters, as a like Brooklyn style hipster assholes.
It's very funny.
Yeah, Kirby said that.
It's on the actually on the store.
Oh yeah, there are prints available of it on the store.
I'll put a link just because to shamelessly self promote. Why not? Where is it?
I had this whole
not to mention, it's a hilarious piece of art and it's a beautiful print.
Yeah, the prints are nice on that one. Really nice. The only thing that would have made it better is if I was able to afford putting gold ink on it, but I could not do that. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that's a Beastman for the ages face.
I am into it.
Yes. Yes. I only think that it sucks that I'm not going to be able to fit really his medallion in here unless I like just have it dangle.
I mean, it would be dangling.
No, it looks like it's fixed to his fur bodice. Whatever you'd want to call that thing.
Yeah, I'd say that's the appropriate word.
Yeah, it's a weird article of clothing. Wow. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Get this slobber going on here. I am obsessed with drawing fluids. I got pretty good at them after water bottling plant.
I never made that connection.
Yeah. Got really good thinking about fluid dynamics after just staring at water being poured into plastic all day. There we go. Yeah. Maybe a bit much slobber. I don't know.
I mean, is there really such a thing as too much slobber in such a context?
Maybe not. Okay. Let's see here. Fill in some of the hand veins and tendons and whatnot. Probably going to do some cross lighting on this hand to give it a little bit of a Kevin Nolan vibe, because I'm obsessed with how he does that stuff. Not that I could ever amount to what he does. Okay. Let's look at this other thing. Wish I had some music to play in the background for these streams, but I do not. Plan on making some. But time is a thing.
You still didn't finish your story.
Oh yeah, what I do. Thanks for keeping me on task.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Part of why you're here, yeah. So, seeing that you can't really get kids interested in He-Man anymore, what I'd do is I would take it not full grimdark, but fun grimdark. Like I would take it to the sort of like place where you get that cross of, like, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy cinematic stuff, like where you get the cross of sentiment with it being a little bit sad. Like these blunt, like diggers. But yeah, you could do some really cool shit with it, and it's something that I find weird as an explored more is like the So the mythos from the Filmation cartoon, one thing they really added was that He-Man, Prince Adam, his mom was from Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and it sets up Eternia as a different planet in a different time and dimension, even. Like, because they even talk about, if I remember correctly, they talk about how even if she could figure out a way to get back to the Milky Way or wherever the fuck, different situation is supposed to be, how different it's supposed to be. I mean, obviously we live in the Milky Way galaxy, blah blah blah. But uh, she doesn't know that she'd be able to get back to the time period that she came from, which was supposedly the late 20th century. She's supposed to be an astronaut, a female astronaut in the 80s. That was a big deal.
Wasn't a lot of the show written by women?
Yes, well, not a lot of it, but they had a lot more women writing the show than just about any other children's program that was out around at the time. And you also have people like J. Michael Straczynski working on it. John Chris Felucci worked on it, though he hated it because he hated the sort of like everything staying to model so tightly because he hated that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He had a lot of different people working on it. I think Paul Dini, who went on to do Batman the Animated Series alongside Bruce Timm, he worked on the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon for Filmation as a writer. And Bruce Timm worked on some of the mini comics for later stuff, including some of the mini comics that came with She-Ra. You can see, if you look it up on Google Image Search, you can see stuff he did of like Hordak pretty easily. But Bruce Timm did some good stuff for that. And they kind of met through working on that property together, as far as I know. Yeah, he did some of the best stuff. And it's weird because of how different it looks from his art style that he would become famous for in later years. Because it's a lot more polished. There's even like a He-Man piece that I remember that was like this very like sumptuous, kind of soft rendered thing that was for a storybook or something. That was it was just amazing to me that it's the same guy that does this like hyper simplified toon kind of thing, and it's all he does now. Take my glass off for a second. So yeah, I'd mix in some of the stuff of like Prince Adam with his mom. Maybe not even have Prince Adam in it. I don't know. Maybe have the He-Man thing be like it's something that takes him over, and he just is never Prince Adam again.
I like that.
Like, I've thought about this a bit. Let's see here. But yeah, I just and I would complicate things by giving Skeletor some motivation beyond just being I'm bad.
You remember watching that Netflix, was a Netflix thing where they were interviewing
Franklin Gala?
About
It was on Netflix. Yeah, there's a few great documentaries out there about Master Universe, but that one was the best.
It was one of the greatest things ever. Like
Franklin Gala talking about playing Skeletor in the live action movie was just so good.
And he's like talking about it like it's some kind of serious like thespianism.
Yep. And just like the fact that he committed so hard to it makes me just so happy.
It was great.
And he's just amazing in everything he does. Like his role in the show The Americans was really great. Like Franklin Gala is just a man. Yeah, the Power of Grayskull documentary. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very highly entertaining.
And highly informative.
Yes.
So let's see, we'll do some of this jewel shit. And what else? Maybe not that. No, maybe not have that be a jewel. I don't know. It's a pretty weird design. Kind of a teardrop thing here.
Oh, I think I hear a cat.
Oh no.
hear a cat. Or maybe he just came over to the door and made a little beep noise and went away.
Let's pull back, get some perspective here. Is that hand too weird in the front?
No, it's great.
You sure about that?
I love it.
How do you feel about it, King? Captain, I mean...
King,
Captain, titles, honorifics.
there's someone else in watching, but
There's a lurker.
They have not shown their face yet.
Looks badass. All right. Someone else.
By the way, lurker, if you show your face in the chat just one time, you'll be eligible to win the drawing. So
Yep. Well, that is if they're a patron. Maybe they, even though it's unlisted, maybe they came across it some weird way.
Well, technically we can't say that. So if you're in the chat and watching, you can be eligible for the drawing.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Because
There we go.
Patreon does not allow raffles.
Oh. All right. Now other decisions.
Yeah, I was saying that earlier, Captain, that those wrist things look Kirby-ish.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm going to...
Oh, it's Will. Hey, Will. How you
Oh,
doing?
sweet.
Oh, he says he got the art from last time.
Awesome.
Today. Awesome.
So Will won the first one. Because he was the only one really to chat last time.
And I don't know, are we going to do some kind of like, if you won, you have to wait so long to win, or are we just doing random, if you're in, you're in?
I don't know. I feel like doing it random is
Yeah.
the most fair.
I agree.
I don't know. He's going frame shopping now.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it looks good in person. That was the Wanda with Quicksilver one, right? Yeah. You know, it would be really dope. Do a Beastman versus Sabretooth.
Mmm.
I think that'd be a little bit of a fantasy battle.
Yeah.
Give it to another watcher. So it goes to the captain then.
All right, unless somebody else shows up.
Yeah, unless someone else shows up, and then we'll have to do the coin toss, or go to a RPG
some other
dice
manner
fight.
of random number generator.
And then, of course, at the end of the year, these all get collected into all 12 of these will get collected into a set of colored prints and sent out to the $30 patrons. I just hit some kind of like thinking about Mark Silvestri too much. He invaded my brain when I was a kid, I tell you. Because I read all that run as it was coming out, all that. Yeah, Beastman versus Sabretooth would be a pretty sweet mashup. I find the whole thing so I was looking at stuff today because I made a giant. So the way I'm choosing these drawings is I made a giant list and it's got 66 characters in it now, and then I throw a 1 to 66 chance into an RPG dice roller, and I take whatever number comes up. So Beastman's going to be crossed off the list after this. Before that was Red Sonja. But as I was going through it, I was looking at some of this stuff, and like Starfire from the DC universe, who's like in Teen Titans or whatever, she's supposed to be 6'6".
Whoa.
6'6" tall. Huge fucking woman. Sabretooth is also 6'6". So those two characters would be standing nose to nose.
Whoa. Nice.
You know, two different universes, but whatever. It's weird to think about. Madman Beastman. You know who else I was thinking of when I was drawing this is because this is a guy who I look at his artwork and I'm just blown away. Sabretooth is a jobber now? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
I thought he died or something? I don't know. I haven't paid attention to actual published new Marvel comics in a very long time. Because every time I look in on it, especially the X-Men stuff, which is my favorite shit from back in the day, it just looks terrible. It looks just fucking sad and horrible. And I don't need that in my life. I don't need to be sad about the X-Men and about what weird people are doing to them. About how, like, weird, like, self-insert fanfic is, like, the new order of the day. At least that's how I take it. No threat to Wolverine. He feels the same. Yeah. Yeah, that seems weird. Well, there was that whole thing where, like, his head got cut off because they did that weird plot line where they were supposed to be part of, like, some weird Destiny cult subdivision of mutants or something. That was really bad, which was... The main thing that made it worse is they had that really great Italian artist drawing it, and he used the Muramasa sword to, like, cut off Sabretooth's head so it wouldn't grow back. I don't fucking know. It was terrible. I also think they made the fucking healing factors in these characters way too fucking powerful eventually. But the other artist I was thinking of, you know, try to keep in mind when I was started doing this is Kim Jong-gi, who's a Korean artist who just, like, he always pushes the envelope on perspective, on intensity, trying to make things feel like just more fucking in your face and fish-eyed and wild. And I don't think I'll ever get to his level, ever. I mean, I'm already, like, we're probably the same age. I'm an old fucking man by this point. But his shit is excellent, and it's a huge inspiration to, like, push myself. Some of these weird mantle spikes in here. Yeah, Simone Bianchi. He just fucking amazing artwork. Jesus Christ, that's so good. I'm better with old school artist names. Pretty much anything after, like, 2004. Like, look, the only person I really like have in my head from like the late 90s to the 2000s that kind of basically I should be collecting rent from how much he's in my head is Lionel Francis Yu. He's another Filipino guy. Fucking, I love these Filipino artists. I don't know what it is. But Lionel Yu's fucking amazing stuff, especially later on as he went along. And it's another guy who, like, I wish I liked what Marvel was doing because he still keeps getting work from them. Just like I would pick it up and just be, hey, you know, whatever. But and I feel the same about DC with Kevin Nolan. Kevin Nolan does lots of inks for DC Comics that I don't want to read. And if you're getting inked by Kevin Nolan, you're getting the Kevin Nolan treatment. Kevin Nolan takes over your art, basically. And I'm fine with that. So let's see here. Get some more of these spikes. Bring this around a little bit. These aren't right. Never be afraid to redo it, because it's not right. Yeah, buddy. Turn this foot in a little bit more to a splayed toe dangling separate. It's a little fat. Yeah, Simone Bianchi's one of the first artists who brought in this kind of like thing where you draw you ink with like gray tones and then let the colors just kind of fill in flat colors over it to pump up what was already there, and didn't really worry about like kind of took over what the values would be in a final inked piece, or in a final colored piece, I should say. And then everyone after that started getting into fucking Prisma markers. I'm just like, seems expensive. There's a cat.
Oh.
I need to take a bathroom break. So I'm going to let the cat in, maybe, and I'm going to go use the lavatory. And Carrie's going to take over talking to y'all for a while.
Maybe.
For a few minutes at least.
Beans might want to talk. Yeah? I hadn't heard that yet, Beans. Can you tell me more about it? No. Now we discovered that the window is slightly open and there are smells coming in from the outdoors.
It is nice enough in St. Paul, Minnesota, for the window to be open a little bit.
It's because the radiator in this room is kicking out the BTUs and making it real warm. So the window is cracked to compensate. Beans cat. Come here. He doesn't know what to do. He's a very nervous little dude. So he's sort of seems like he's waiting to see if I'll do something so he can react to it. He's goofy. Beans. I don't know. At some point, due to popular demand, we will set up a cat cam in here so you guys can see the kitty cats. Captain's cats are all too cool to hang out with him. That's sad. Our cats just want to hang out with us all the time.
Yes.
It gets a little annoying, but it's mostly cute.
Beans is especially needy.
Yes, he is.
Where is my glove? There it is. All right. I think that giving villain a reason beyond just wanting power to do something, to fuck over the good guy or whatever you want to say, is really important. And I think it would be good to give Skeletor something like that if you were to relaunch the property with taking it seriously. I think they did. Like DC had a hold of it. They did something recently. And they just like wanked it off to like, what would happen if Superman fought He-Man again? Because we did that in the '80s. And remember that? Remember the '80s? I don't know. I wanted no part of that either.
Wait, Superman fought He-Man?
Twice.
When did this happen and where?
Once in the '80s and once like 3 years ago or
Like
something.
in comics?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Why don't you go lay down?
limited batch. Shells Maibach. Minnesota beer, people.
Shells.
Drinking that Minnesota beer. See how this tastes.
Is that a New Prague? New Prague? Is that a New Prague beer? Shells?
New Prague. New Praha. No, it's New Ulm.
New Ulm, that's the one.
It's new. Oh, this is delicious.
I was like saying New Prague.
Oh, this is really good.
I'm gonna taste it.
This is fucking. Oh, wow.
Oh, it smells delicious. Very malty. Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, wait. Aren't they doing a new live action movie? And they have some, like, South Asian kid playing Prince Adam, who doesn't look very masculine
I have no idea.
at all. I think they're doing a live action movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, it doesn't sell well. And I think maybe even getting rid of the He-Man name, which is a huge brand or whatever, might be good. Like, do Masters of the Universe and just call whoever has the mantle the Guardian of Grayskull or something. I don't fucking know.
That sounds badass.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty dope title. You got to get with the times a little bit. We don't have that same, macho tolerance anymore in popular culture, which I'm fine with, because believe it or not, despite being somebody who got mistaken for a fucking football player most of my young adult life, I don't like macho shit. I hate it. Despite even getting into fights a lot, I don't like it. I'd get into fights because people assumed I was the guy to fight because I was a big guy. Not because I like to fight. Oh, so the movie's dead too? I guess COVID killed everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so tasty. There's some kind of like, kind of melon quality?
I think that's just a little hops.
It's really
a little bit of a melon edge to it.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I do like it. It's good.
All right, let's put in some fingers over here. Fingers, some cloves.
Fingers.
Two animated series on Netflix to sort of go along with the She-Ra series, which looked really awful. I almost watched it just to like have an opinion. And I was like, I really want to watch this. It's a lot of time. I mean, I'm a huge Transformers fan, and I'm not even watching the second series of the latest Transformers iteration on Netflix because the first one was just so fucking terrible.
Well, it just looked like a pile of garbage. Like, I saw a little bit of it, and it was just like, looked like somebody's child slapped it together in an afternoon.
Yep, the really, really bad, just like manipulation of CG models without any character. And it's not like that can't be done right because the Prime series was really good. And that one even had that problem of like CG worlds feeling like way underpopulated because of creating all the different assets being expensive or whatever. But
One of the series is apparently by Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be. Oh, I heard the sequel to the Filmation series. I heard something about that. I do not feel super confident about that, but I'd watch a little bit of it just to see.
Yeah.
And the other one's a CGI one for kids. Ugh. The one I'd really want to do though, and I think Carrie knows what it would be, but the one I really want to do is I want to take a whack at doing a mocap version of the entire Claremont run of X-Men. Just retelling the entire Claremont run, edited for crossovers into other stuff and all that, just to keep the X-Men universe kind of contained into CG motion capture, similar to the way the Beowulf movie was done, but with better, more current models. Because unlike a lot of people, I actually like the Beowulf.
I thought it was okay, but I felt like it was a little bit uncanny valley.
Yeah, you have that problem.
I do.
I see the art on screen.
Yeah.
I really loved Crispin Glover's performance in that.
Yeah, well,
So fucking good.
Crispin Glover is fucking great in anything.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll give it a shot. So you like the is it Zemeckis? Did Beowulf?
I think so.
Is that what it was? Yeah. There's another live action one that came out like a year before that or 2 years before that had Gerard Butler, and it was really good.
Well, that was
Called Grendel and Beowulf.
well, which I get them confused. The one was the Neil Gaiman one.
Yep, Neil Gaiman one was the one with Robert Zemeckis. It was Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
Another guy who writes just impeccable scripts. I'm gonna look it up. Beowulf, IMDb. I hope that my mechanical keyboard is not too loud. 2007. Jeepers. Robin Wright's in that. Anthony Hopkins.
Everybody's in it.
Yeah. John Malkovich is even in it. Jesus Christ. Leslie Zemeckis? So that's Robert Zemeckis directed it. Who wrote that shit?
I can't remember the name. It's right in the back of my head.
Avery. Roger
Yeah,
Avery.
Roger.
That's the other guy. And Roger Avery's fucking great. He's done some amazing stuff. Like, let's see here. Boo, boo, boo. Like, he did the Silent Hill movie. He wrote the all of the story for Pulp Fiction, Killing Zoe, True Romance. He was uncredited on it, but he rewrote over what's his dick? Tarantino, yeah. Reservoir Dogs. He wrote all the dialogue for the radio stuff. Yeah, he's really good. Roger Avery's really good. And as far as directing goes, like, I don't know that I've actually seen much of his stuff. He did a live action version of Crying Freeman. What the fuck?
What's that?
Crying Freeman is this manga that's like about this Yakuza dude who's super sensitive, but he's committing all these murders. And there's like weird shit in it, like really weird shit in it. Like there's this. I just remember. Oh boy, is this gonna be fucked up? I don't even know if I should fucking talk about it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna talk about it. So there's a scene in Crying Freeman. I read the entire manga back in the early '90s, The artwork was gorgeous. So there's this black woman who's an operative, and the Japanese are really stereotypical about their black people. She's got an afro, all that kind of stuff. I'm not happy with this hand. So, as I've said before, you're not happy with it, you redraw it.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. So there's this scene where this black woman who's some kind of operative, I think she's like CIA or something, I don't fucking know. But she is crawling through this sewer pipe to get to some sort of like infiltration point, and she comes across this giant dude who's like there to basically stop her from doing what she's trying to do. And I can't remember the story context. I really can't. And it's because what happens next is so fucking shocking and so fucked up that it just kind of destroys any story element in the rest of the Crying Freeman story.
Wow.
This giant dude who has a dick that's big enough, well, he rapes her. And his dick is so big that it breaks her spine.
Jesus.
And there's this whole thing where she's just left crawling around the sewer with a broken back after being raped by this giant dude.
What the fuck?
It's really terrible. Like, it's really...
Is this just like, let's be edgy to sell comics?
I don't fucking know.
Or what?
Because the artwork is, like, really gorgeous. I don't fucking know.
Wow, that is something.
Here, I gotta pull up some Crying Freeman art. Just to show off some of like how it's really nice. I think the guy who worked on it was the same guy who worked on Fist of the North Star. I mean, there's like weird things you can do. Like I don't know. You can push things to extreme to make points.
Mm-hmm.
But like, oh, what just happened? That was weird. Okay. And what? All right, bring that drawing back up. Okay. There's weird things you can do to just try to make points. And like, you know, I don't know if anyone in the audience has read Bataille, but Bataille has done a lot of, you know, the story of the eye is really fucked up. And there's a point behind it, I guess. But yeah, so like here's some artwork from Crying Freeman. It's like really good stuff. It's pretty.
Wow.
Like really pretty artwork, really pretty manga. It's like this weird sensitivity to it. There's a lot of like people being naked.
Do you think that it's like maybe just sort of fetish that doesn't read to Western eyes as well? Because like, I don't know, like there's hentai is all about women getting fucking destroyed by tentacles, you know, like
yeah. But then you've got like these pages like this that are like people are naked to be super vulnerable. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I think there's this communication. Like look at him. He's doing like flag signaling at dawn or sunset or something. Naked.
Uh-huh.
Like it's really symbolic.
Yeah.
There's like yeah, it's just really weird. Like I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah.
Here goes some man ass for you. But
Man ass.
yeah, the art's amazing. The art is amazing, Captain. But the content of those stories are just like, what the fuck? And reading them when I was like 13 or something was probably not wise. Probably not the smartest thing. All right, this is looking a little bit more like a real hand. Yeah. But I read a lot of that stuff too young. I read a lot of Masamune Shiro stuff, which is a lot of naked people hanging around. Like, you get in Appleseed, you get like naked women having like sauna day spa stuff, or talking about global politics in the sci-fi setting. It's like you get the here's your philosophy / exposition dump.
I feel like that's sort of like more healthy than the way that we handle nudity and sex in our stuff over here.
Oh, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I'm just saying that like and maybe that's why I did a lot of fucking
Yeah.
because it really did not prepare me for polite society to have this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Masamune Shiro was. I think he was amazing. I think if you look on his artwork nowadays, in the stuff he's been doing basically since the early 2000s, it's a little like, like basically, even the late 90s, like since Ghost in the Shell Part 2, which I have the original Japanese version of in digest, it's not the best work. I think he got way too digital way too early before it became really convincing.
Hey, what happened to the cat?
I don't know. Oh, he's over here looking out the
Oh,
window.
I just can't see his. I can see his butt when he's sitting in there.
Yeah, no, he's just sitting in the window over there. I wish the camera were more easy to manipulate, but setting it back in its place would be a bitch. I'd show you the cat's butt. The cat's giant.
He does have a large.
Yeah, his new
large
stuff is
rump.
too CGI rendered. Yeah, Captain, it definitely is. But his earlier works, especially on Appleseed, Black Magic, M66, Tank Police, like all that stuff is really good. All that stuff's really good. Like him and Atomo basically like blew my fucking brain apart when I was in my early teens, looking at a lot of that stuff. Like, and I hope I learned lessons from them, and I hope it shows up in my work. But I can never tell. I always just feel like my stuff looks like some kind of bastardized Marvel aesthetic from the 70s, which I'm not down on. Don't get me wrong, I'm not down on that. But it was never my intention to be a knockoff of John Buscema. He's not even one of my faves. I respect him as a legend, but he's not necessarily one of my faves. Let's do this.
Are you trying to go outside? Do you want to leave?
Beans makes ridiculously cute noises.
Mm-hmm. Both of our cats do.
Yes.
What? She's just looking at me.
Get some veins in here. Going up the inner meat of the forearm. I think this is almost ready to ink.
Sweet.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna bullshit my way through some of it. Because I'm sick of being at the computer.
I mean, it's looking pretty good.
What do y'all think out there? Think this is looking good enough to ink? Under that bitch. It's right in. All right. He's 7th today, right?
Yeah.
It's March.
February.
I thought it was the 3rd month.
It's the 2nd month.
It's the 2nd month? Jesus Christ.
It's February.
I just want the I don't know. I want the future to happen again. COVID's got my brain fucked.
Yeah. Is that a 7? It looks like a 1.
It's a 7.
Okay.
I draw hooked 7s. See, look at that. Like this.
One.
7.
You should put a little hash on the middle
7. I don't do that.
No, you're
7.
no, you're
7.
Never mind, I'm stupid.
7.
I'm retarded. Never mind.
7.
I was looking at the 1 and the 21.
That is a 1. This is a 1.
Yeah.
1. 1.
Shut up.
1.
Being-
1. 1.
Stop abusing me. Are you trying to leave for real?
Let's add some hairs in there. Some knuckles on these toes. Oh. Thing in there. Okay.
Ugh.
All right. Print time. And I'm going to switch over to the table. How do I do that over here? On this motherfucker. Select the drawing table view. Could you turn the lights on?
Yes.
Thank you. So we are viewing the table. Turn off some of these fucking lights. We'll be staring at my ink test sheet for a while as I print out. Ah, crap. Picture. Mic stands, rolling chairs. The printer is still on. And print. Oh wait, no, cancel. Gotta cancel it. Shit. Make all kinds of stupid mistakes. One thing I almost always forget to do is reduce it to 7% opacity. So that it's barely visible on the paper. So that when I rescan it later to do the cleaning and coloring, it will look so much nicer.
I'm going to run downstairs in a minute. I'll be back.
All right.
Do you need anything?
Not presently, no.
I'll lock you in.
Thank you, Captain. I'm glad you like it. Especially since it's probably going to be sent to your house. Providing that no one else shows up. I'm going to reset up. Here you can all hear me. I'm sure it sounds very strange and reverby or echoey because we've got two mics in this tiny room, and they're just far enough apart to where they're out of phase with each other, which makes a really weird sound. Whoa! Okay. Let's do this. Mellow this out. Bring this over here. Maybe be able to see something. I don't fucking know. Okay. Don't need this thing anymore. My mom got a nice print of Hieronymus Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights, and she is currently showing it off to Carrie. Also, does the sound come off just fine over here since I changed the mic position? That is not worthy. Let's see about this. That seems like it will be. So I'm planning on doing a bit of an impulsive inking on this one. Let's see.
Yeah, right.
Welcome back to the movie.
Thank you.
Some kind of snacks over there?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Girl fuck cookies.
What the fuck? Give me a cookie. I require a cookie.
How about if I put it right in your mouth so you don't get your fingers dirty?
How about that? Do Canadians even have Girl Scout cookies?
That's an interesting question. Probably not. Maybe they have their own version.
Any chats?
No. Other than Captain saying, "Man, this looks awesome."
Yeah, I saw that one. And
Yeah.
I thank him for it. I'm glad he thinks so. Because he's gonna have to deal with it.
I thought you wanted everyone to hate it.
Well, I hate everything I do, but that doesn't mean everyone else has to. These heavy line weights. I almost didn't want to do this stream. I almost just fucking gave up entirely today.
Well, you wanted to do it, and then we...
No, this is before.
Oh,
This is before.
okay.
Because I was, So, I really like the artwork of Adam Hughes. Really love his work. I love it so much that it makes me not want to draw. And I don't follow him on any social media because I don't want to see how awesome his fucking art is. Like, it intimidates me that much.
Wow.
And today he posted this old piece he did of Wanda, Scarlet Witch, standing in front of a downed Sentinel. And it's just so fucking good that why draw? Why do anything anymore? Why even?
I don't understand that reaction, honestly. Like, I feel like when I see something that's really good, it makes me want to create something really good.
Yeah, I just don't think I'll ever be that good. And I'm way too old to even contemplate pushing my skill to that level. It's not even skill, though. It's just like his vision of things, his ability to visualize a crazy composition, and it's just like, holy fuck.
I'm gonna move to the couch.
You gonna still have chat open?
Yeah. I'm moving my whole shit over
That's
here.
all I care about. Because I can't read chat from here.
I know. My little clippy thingy.
Your what?
The mic clip.
Eh?
Those things just seem like they don't want to ever stay where they're supposed to stay.
On the mic?
The little clip thing that clips the cord.
Yeah. It's because the one that's on there is not meant for that part of the stand.
Even before that.
It fell somewhere near my desk. The one that's supposed to be on there.
Yeah. I'm sure we could just like order backups, but then we'll clean and find like 8 of them.
Yeah. Still just got 3 on.
4 total, which means there's 2 people watching. Well, maybe 3, because I don't think it counts you.
No, it does not count.
So yeah, there'll be 3 people. So there's another lurker that we don't know
Another
about.
lurker? Announce yourself, lurker.
Yeah.
Come on. You announce yourself, you put yourself in the running for getting this piece of art. Yeah. And then French Canadian might weep.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about making Canadians cry, but
I'm generally in favor.
we jest.
We love our Canadians and our Aussies.
We've spent a whole lot of time making fun of Australians last time.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
But they deserve it.
they do. They gotta learn how to handle vowels. Get on your vowel game, Australians, and then we'll stop making fun.
I mean, the Canadians, he says we don't cry easily, lol.
No, you just say you're sorry.
Yeah, you'll just say sorry a bunch.
French Canadians won't, though.
Yeah,
French
I don't
Canadians are rude, supposedly.
know.
Supposedly.
Well, in my experience, they were pretty nice, but I was not in Quebec. I was in New Brunswick, so that might be a different breed of French Canadian.
I do not, like... I can't be fully annoyed at Canadian stuff because some of my favorite music comes from Quebec.
Who's Quebec?
Huh?
What are you talking about? No Means No?
No.
I was like, they're not French Canadian.
No. They're Eastern Canada.
Yeah, that's what you mean Western Canada.
Yeah. No, they're Western Canada.
Vancouver,
yes.
right?
They're Vancouver area people.
That's funny. Captain says, I'm actually watching with my Aussie girlfriend right now.
Nice.
Smiley face. Good job.
Very nice. I really Metric
Oh,
relocated to Quebec, and Broken Social Scene is also from Quebec,
interesting.
and I love both of those bands. Well, I love certain periods of both of those bands. I don't universally love either of them. I kind of guess I haven't liked a new thing from Metric and probably
Since the Twilight soundtrack.
since before that.
Yeah.
Since they got on that Twilight soundtrack, yeah.
Yeah.
Still went and saw them live after that, and they
Yeah,
were
that
great.
was great.
Still fucking rock it. They still bring it. Thing I think is funny about this process with the camera and everything is the drawing looks kind of invisible until it's inked
Mm-hmm.
on the camera, and that makes it kind of magical.
Mm-hmm.
See the drawing appear.
It's like you're just drawing it out of your head.
But I'm not. I mean, I am.
It
but
came out of your head.
it already came out of my head.
Like, I'm very impressed generally watching you, like, do napkin doodles or whatever with how,
Mm-hmm.
like, you can just sort of ink something right out of your head, but that's usually more simpler stuff.
Yes.
Where, like, I don't know that you could ink Beastman right out of your head and have him look this good.
Nope. Could not. Takes a lot more planning. And even though I did this pretty fast, I don't even know what time it is, but I felt like I did it
It
pretty
took
fast.
like an hour. Well, you did your intro, so it's like an hour 20.
Yeah, I did intro and I did a lot of talking.
Yeah. So it was pretty quick.
This inking is going pretty fast too.
Good.
So maybe this won't be an 8 hour stream.
Maybe.
Jesus, that was a fucking long one.
It seemed like you had a really good time, though.
I did. I had a really good time. That was the last open stream,
Yeah.
which, having randos show up and people who aren't subscribers tend to get a little bit more interaction. Considering I only have 8 people on my Patreon. But
That's okay.
indeed it is. I am beyond appreciative of all of my patrons. So it just, yeah. I hope to make it so that it makes a lot of bigger things possible. It's like, we work on the comic as much as we can, and it's going a lot slower than we want it to. I don't know, maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. I think, and this might seem counterintuitive, but I really think that after I'm back at work, things might be better because I'll be on a regimented schedule and that'll make it easier for me to actually plan to do things. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
Like,
You do get kind of lost.
and well, especially this winter, I was very depressed and like I kept getting lost in down weird tangents and like I wouldn't even know it until like 3 days later. I'd be like, oh yeah, I just kind of like fell off a cliff there for a couple days. Sorry.
Getting maybe a little too loose here, but so having fun. Being impulsive. Yes, meaty hands. Meaty,
Yeah.
hairy hands. Meaty, hairy.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck's going on? We live in the ghetto,
Yes, we do.
and it's often crazy on a Friday night, even when it's cold.
And it's warm.
It is warm right now, so it's gonna
Well,
be crazy.
relatively. It's been in the 40s the last few days. And everything's melting.
I love that.
I went out to the store today when I was driving back. I was driving out. I went down the back road or the side road, and I saw this dude come out his front porch with I think it was a Minnesota Wild towel around his waist,
What?
smoking a cigarette.
What?
It was like something out of a movie. It was just a dude in a towel outside,
Okay.
and it was like 40 degrees. It's Minnesota for you.
All right, I have to do some thinking here, because I did not do any shadow mapping in the rough drawing for this metal bit. So I'm going to be faking all of this shading.
Fake it till you make it.
So the captain made an announcement this week about launching a comic book.
Mm.
If I remember correctly, he said he's planning on trying to do one a year with his collaborator.
Cool.
And I'm pretty excited about it because it looks like it might be a little wild. Just from the guy's artwork.
I like wild.
And knowing my luck, he'll have his thing ready to go before we do.
Hey, if we actually really buckle down, we could be in production like next month.
Yeah, but we also have that art book to do.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to take very long once you get into it. That's the next thing on your plate.
It is the next thing on my plate. And I got really distracted with those color jams, but man, I needed to do something that was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they got me a couple of followers.
That's cool.
So that's good. Didn't get me as many as I was hoping for. But the color jam was fun to do. I especially enjoyed doing Uncanny X-Men 268's cover with the Jim Lee artwork, despite the fact that it has all these problems. Oof. Not least of which is the wrong number of legs and Black Widow's spider symbol.
That's really annoying.
Yeah. Is that an ant? Is that an ant on your back?
What are you, ant lady?
No, it's supposed to be. It looks like an ant. This picture, that character from Kids in the Hall.
Gavin?
Gavin, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an ant? Is that an ant on your back? I had a friend once.
This guy?
This guy I knew.
He smokes.
And he had an ant farm. He'd blow smoke into the ant farm.
And the ants, they would die.
They just die.
But he wouldn't.
That's all they do.
But he wouldn't clean them out, and the other ants would just eat them.
Oh dear.
I love it. Oh, Captain says he's looking forward to the art book. Yes, we will get that going. Hopefully, very soon. I want to have pre-orders finished by April 1st, but we will see. Because I start overtime second week of April for a month, and that always throws off my entire shit. But it's good because I can earn a bunch of money very quickly.
Hairy triceps.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird. I did something weird.
What?
I don't know. I feel like this forward forearm isn't quite right, but too far into it to backtrack now.
I think it's fine.
You would.
What are you saying?
I don't know. Being needlessly aggressive.
I mean, yeah.
We actually have 2 art books ready.
Well, not ready, but
Close to ready.
So what happened was we did our proofs through Lulu, and weren't happy with the pricing, and the printing was slightly out of alignment on both of them.
Yep.
And we ended up finding a better a publisher with better prices that seems really good. So we're gonna
A
a
printer.
printer. Excuse me. I keep saying publisher. I'm sorry.
We are the publisher.
Uh, so we just have to. He has to go through and like format it so it fits the new printer, basically. Um, and just do some edits, like removing all references to hashtag Inktober because the dude that started it decided to become a jerk about it.
And plagiarize a guy's art book.
Yeah.
He plagiarized a dude. Which, I'm not happy with that. Like I'm not happy with capitalism, but we all live under it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
gotta respect the hustle. And someone already had that hustle covered, and he stole it or attempted to. Wonder what happened with that. I hope the guy isn't getting published.
Who knows? I ain't got time to follow that sort of drama.
Don't have time for drama.
I ain't got. Get your Jesse grammar correct.
Did he say I ain't?
I ain't got time to bleed.
Is that really what he says?
Yeah.
He says I ain't.
Yeah, I think.
I haven't watched Predator in
I don't know. Maybe you're
a
right.
year.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think it's I
He-
ain't got.
I think he says I don't have time to bleed.
Mm,
You could look it up on your
I
phone or
do.
something. You should look it up on your phone.
I am.
Maybe you got time to duck.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, there you go.
That's the title of the book that he published.
What?
Yeah, I remember when that happened. 'Cause
He published a book called I
Yeah.
Ain't Got Time to Bleed?
Yeah, it was right after he got elected governor.
Wow. Yeah. Yes, Jesse Ventura is our governor. I saw him speak live at my community college.
Me too.
Yeah.
We went to
So-
different community colleges.
Yep.
Had
We did not know each other
We did not know each other. We would not know each other for many years.
for over a decade.
Yeah.
Mm. How's that look so far?
Hang on, I lost my connection. Chat. Oh, back. Okay, yeah, it looks good.
Sweet. Ah. I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus. I really need to rewatch Predator. It's so good.
That's good stuff.
It's a transcendent movie. Goes beyond genre to just being a fucking fine film. Should be in the fucking Criterion collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even joking.
Well, no, I agree, I guess. It's pretty good.
It's just got really great meta story about masculinity. It's got amazing, like, the film itself kind of becomes a character.
Mm.
I feel like maybe I read too much into it, but I don't know. I'm not the only person who said it. So there's that.
I'm just trying to figure out what that means.
Well, like, where the characters kind of become secondary to the lingering camera.
Hmm.
Like, the camera itself becomes a character.
Interesting.
And it's big to me. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of weird choices. Like, when like the fact that they don't show Billy die. They show Billy prepare to die.
Uh-huh.
And that's saying something to the audience. So, like, here's a choice of a shot. It's like, at the point, you know, where Billy gets killed, you hear him scream. You assume that's when he dies. The movie switches from being this is an action movie to oh, there's something else going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not going to titillate you by showing you the most badass stoic character that's been built up so far dying.
Okay.
Because he's built up to be like, he's the tracker dude.
Yeah.
He's Native American, so he's got that extra, like, offense to nobody, I hope, but he's got an extra mystique to him, yeah. And then, like, you don't get to see him die. Mm-hmm. You get to see him prepare to die. That's it. Like, he gets, his laugh gets quoted by the Predator. Mm-hmm. And it's from the joke that Shane Black's character, who rewrote the entire script for the movie, tells about the giant pussy, and he finally gets the bad, like, my girlfriend's gross and a whore jokes, which is a whole meta thing in and of itself.
Yeah,
like, it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie that goes out of its way to do something far, far above and beyond just being an action movie or a horror movie or an alien movie. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, no, I like it. I just haven't seen it as much as you.
Try to watch it at least once a year.
I think I've seen it like 3 times.
I've seen it... Let me see. Came out in 86 or 87. And I've seen it at least once a year ever since 87. Plus other times.
Yeah.
So I've seen the movie more than 40 times probably.
Yeah. Your Predator is my Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
Yeah. Something like that.
Or The Matrix. I think I've still seen Prince of Thieves more than The Matrix, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Matrix in a really long time.
I know, me either. But when I was at Moorhead State for that year, the kid upstairs had the big system, and we literally watched The Matrix every day for like a month.
Jesus. That movie would be really good if the sequels never happened.
Yeah, I agree. That shit was garbage.
We gotta see Showgirls. We gotta do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's come to a head.
Yeah.
As of yesterday. There are threats of you seeing it without me, and I don't like it. So I've never seen it. I'm a Verhoeven fan. At least I'm a fan of his socially critical satire stuff. I really like RoboCop, Running Man, and Starship Troopers. And supposedly, Showgirls fits into that pretty well.
I am intrigued.
And it's someone from Saved by the Bell?
Mm-hmm. Elizabeth Berkley, I believe.
Didn't Screech just die?
What?
Screech just died, I think.
Really?
Yeah. The actor played Screech. Who was in, like, porno.
He's fucking dead. He just died like 2-3 weeks ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What's this dude's name?
He had lung cancer. Dustin Diamond.
Jesus, lung cancer?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's related to Michael Diamond from the Beastie Boys. Is it not Michael Diamond? No, mine's Clarence. Which he exaggerates saying Clarence in Brooklyn, a specific type of Brooklyn accent. that can be exemplified by every time you see the RZA on screen.
Mm-hmm. Professional.
Jesus.
Weird. My ex-husband was obsessed with Saved by the Bell and Screech and had a fucking autographed picture of Dustin Diamond.
What?
Yeah.
I want to find out about this guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a slander on your character.
Well, I was
If I didn't
young
know better.
and I didn't know anything, so, you know. I got my heart broken once, and then I kind of picked up the first thing that showed interest and hung on to it way too long. Because, even though I had left the church, I still had all that good Catholic shit beaten into me about how divorce is fucking terrible. And then I told my parents about getting divorced, and they were like, it's about time. And I was like, fuck you. If it weren't for you guys and like your attitude about anyone who ever got divorced in our town, I would have left this fucker probably years ago. But you can't know these things until they happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I didn't date fucked up people.
Yeah.
Real fucked up people. And hell, I'm probably other people's fucked up people.
Maybe.
So there's that. Can't believe I dated that loser fucking artist. Stereotype of a starving artist. Miserable fucking punk.
Well, I got no regrets.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. So it actually feels really good to not have anything really, or have less stuff planned out in the pencils than usual. Just fucking go to town.
It's looking real good.
Glad you think so. Them lips. Them blue lips. Robert De Niro being like, meeting Beastman, being like, "Hey, you got them fucking blue lips. What you been suffocating? You say you know that autoerotic? What do they call that? Hey, what do they call that when you choke yourself and you fucking jerk your dick? Auto what? You're into that, ain't you? That's why you got them blue lips." I can never do a De Niro. Because his voice is too weird.
Mm-hmm.
My voice is too deep to be able to do my gravelly part while also doing the Brooklyn accent.
Captain says, such great inking.
Thank you. I think I am a better inker than I am a drawer. If that makes any sense.
So if you were like a job guy and you were just like an inker for Marvel Comics or something, like who would you want to ink?
Jeez. Nowadays, I wouldn't know how to answer that because I don't know who's really there.
The
But
fantasy of any artist, living or dead.
any artist living or dead. That's a big one. I would say I would probably. I mean, there's a lot of people that ink themselves who like. I would just love to be an apprentice underneath them, like Nestor Redondo or Kevin Nolan, who's I don't know where Nestor is. He's probably dead because he was doing stuff in the 50s before he came to America, or came to American audiences, I should say. I don't think he ever came to America. But I think, I brought up Lionel Francis Yu earlier. I think he'd be really fucking fun to ink. Um, I would like to go back to the 80s and do finishes over Mark Silvestri during the X-Men run, or even during his time doing filler stuff for like Cloak and Dagger a couple of years before that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love those comics. I still have the entire, almost the entire Cloak and Dagger run of Rick Leonardi, who would also, like, man, Rick Leonardi, holy shit, I would love to ink some Rick Leonardi back then. He's another guy who's gotten to where he just inks himself, and his shit is just so fucking good. It's so... You want to talk about making choices? Holy crap, that guy makes choices. It's just all good. As you make your way through the X-Men Essentials digests that I have, you'll come across some Rick Leonardi eventually.
Okay.
He's really great. And he's not related to there's a dude whose last name was Leonardi who was one of the directors for Tiny Toons and Animaniacs, and he's not related to him, as far as I know. Or at least not so close that it's ever been mentioned in public. But, yeah, him... Those two would be great. Alan Davis. Alan Davis in the 80s especially, that would have been great. Working with Paul Neary and Mark Farmer most of the time. But I like him under Paul Neary a lot more than Mark Farmer. There's a rougher quality to Paul Neary and a more draftman-like quality to some of the anatomy, I guess you'd say. Like Mark Farmer, when Mark Farmer started inking Alan Davis, his hands got blobbier. That really bothered me because Alan Davis did amazing hands, and to see the fingers just get a little bit blobbier was made me cringe.
Captain says Leonardi was inked by Al freaking Williamson in the 90s.
Yep. Al Williamson before he died, yeah. Al Williamson of EC Comics, just... Brother. Al Williamson also did... After Howard Chaykin got off of the original Star Wars run, Al Williamson took over and was doing Star Wars comics, and his run on that, like, all of that just looked absolutely phenomenal. Like, so fucking good. He came from a school of illustration that just knew where blacks had to be, knew where to put hatching, knew where to not put hatching. I mean, just looking at what I'm doing now, I feel super fucking indulgent compared to Al Williamson. Like, I know that, like, half of what I do in a drawing is for me, you know? And I don't think Al Williamson ever thought about himself when he's drawing.
Interesting.
His work just looks like it was all for the page. It was all for communicating to the audience. Right up there with Alex Toth as far as being humble to what needed to show up to the person's eye. And I have talked about Alex Toth quite a bit. Another person that I am not humble enough to ever get near their level. Because I kind of like just want to enjoy what I'm doing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's not that I don't challenge myself, because I feel like I do. Oh, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this.
Good.
Ooh, this head. This dude's head. It's real fucking fun. Who knew I'd have this much fun drawing Beastman?
Come on.
Yeah. If I knew how to handle like surveys or whatever, polls better on Patreon, I might put polls up of
It's real easy.
what's on my list, but I don't know if you can put
It's real easy.
65 categories.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know how it's limited, but you can just pick a few. You don't have to
Yeah.
put all of them up.
Maybe when I get more followers. Oh, I like this beard. You know what other person I think of when I ink a lot these days? And this is a really weird one. Because it's another person who I'm not a huge fan of these days, but who I loved when I was a kid. And I loved his ink work more than his paintings, but he's more famous for his paintings. But Boris Vallejo.
Mm.
Holy shit. His ink drawings, and I only knew about them because of the card. He had an artist card series. It was another thing that happened in the 90s that was pretty cool. Like, say what you want about how fucked up the speculator market in comics was. The thing that the speculator market in comics led to was comic artists getting trading card series. Like William Stout had a 500 card trading card series.
Whoa.
Like, and William Stout's fucking, oh my god, he's a god to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Boris Vallejo had one of those. And on the backs of a lot of the cards would be his ink art, his ink sketches that led up to some of the stuff that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't do pencil sketches, he'd do ink sketches, which I'm sure he penciled beforehand, but the inks were really good. They were really like light touch, like you see this outline in this beard here, or like the fur here. Like that's all me thinking about Boris Vallejo as I'm doing this.
Interesting.
Like
I'm looking at some of these because I've only ever seen his paintings, which I find to be very like overwrought and obnoxious.
yeah, but you see what I'm saying about
Oh wow.
his ink
Yeah.
sketches? Like they're amazing, right?
Really amazing. The first one that came up is a Conan.
And that's his light touch on that stuff. Sort of like it's messy but controlled at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really good.
Blows me away.
Way better than the fucking paintings.
Way better than the paintings. The paintings just don't have the character.
No.
Don't have the
It's like he can't
expressiveness.
figure out in the paintings, like he can't figure out what to focus on or something. I don't know.
Like everything's in focus.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, buddy. Beast Man. Crinkly foreheads. I gotta urinate. You gotta hold the fort for a second.
All right.
People gotta stare at that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's gonna work. Is this gonna work? There, that'll work.
Hey, you want to fill my water for me?
Suppose that I could.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually getting a little chilly in here. So I think I'm going to close this window. Oh.
Up.
Okay. I didn't have anything to talk about. Everyone's chatting, so I was just being lame.
What?
Thank
Lame
you.
sauce. Is it, how many people are watching?
It's still 4,
It's a couple people.
3. Still a lurker that hasn't identified themselves.
Mm. Well, I'm going to say this. This drawing is going to go to the captain, no matter what.
Alright.
Captain gets the drawing. How would you feel about opening up the stream to everyone else? Like just tweeting out the link.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. Well, should we see if our audience is fine with that?
I'm sure they would be. There's only 2 people watching.
No, 3 people.
3 people? Okay.
He said, "Oh hell yes, probably to the getting the drawing." Are you guys cool if we open up the stream to the public? Crickets. Crickets.
I know it's supposed to be an exclusive stream, but I kind of want some
You need some more juice.
humans. I need juice.
Yeah. Do it.
All right, we're doing it.
Yeah, they're not gonna complain. It says Will says totally cool, and Captain says I'm not gonna complain.
All right. Copy. Blah, blah, blah. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, I just bought the thing.
Rose.
People.
Oh, he
Alright.
says he'll share on Twitter too. Captain.
Sweet. Got the link. Here we go. Quote tweet to this.
Thank you, Captain. That's awesome.
What do you say?
He shared it.
Tweeting it out. Boom, 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 boom. My way around the chair over here without bumping anything, hopefully. Jesus Christ. Stepping in soggy beer business. Ugh.
Will says it's killer art deserving of good framing. Gonna go on my Ramones wall, and Captain
Ooh.
says it will be framed.
Awesome.
Sweet. You guys don't forget to take a picture of it after you frame it and hang it.
Yeah, send us the
So we
picture.
can share it.
It's like, see what you get. See what you motherfucking get. All right. You want to retweet on your end,
I've already
Carrie?
done all of it.
What?
I did it from both accounts. I did it from my account and I did it from the Fiendus account.
Nice.
Yes, everyone. I am in charge of the Fiendus account.
If you're not familiar. I don't think that Will is on Twitter, which is my preferred platform.
Yeah, we have a separate Twitter account for marketing the basically any merchandise, which mostly is prints, but every few days I throw in something from the Redbubble store.
It really hasn't led to much, but whatever.
Yeah, it's fun though. Whatever.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff on there.
I mean, I wear some stuff that I got
Yep.
from there.
You were wearing a skirt with my artwork on your butt just the other day?
I was. The other day I went out. We went to Costco. It was a very fancy, leaving the house event, and I decided to get a little bit cute, and I put the Marduk on my butt.
It was one of the favorite things I've drawn in a while.
Yeah.
All the way from 2017. But it's a fun drawing.
Yeah, Will says he is on Twitter, but seldom on.
Oh, well then you should follow me on Twitter and I will follow you back.
Yeah.
I think Twitter is a bit better than Instagram because Instagram broke their fucking algorithm really hard.
I can't, I've been trying to get re-engage over there so I can do the Fiendus stuff over there, and I just, can't get into it. It doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And given that it's a pain in the ass to post anything, it's just why? I just don't understand why I would even bother.
I'm only on Twitter, or on Instagram for people that I'm connected to.
Yeah.
I hate the platform. And it's funny is because if you'd asked me 2 or 3 years ago which one I preferred, I would have said Instagram.
Yeah, because it used to be awesome.
Yeah. It used to be fucking great, and now I just don't like it. This Tombo's treat me nice.
Sweet.
Sometimes they're a little bit finicky, but this one, man, it's good. Tombow is the Japanese calligraphy pens that I use for most of the stuff. If there were big sections of black in this, I'd also be using a Pentel, but there are not.
I have to go to bed. I'll be back.
All right. Carrie's asking me earlier about people that I would have liked to ink. And another one that would have been fun, I think, would have been Mike Mignola in his early days. Back when people like Al Milgrom were inking his work most of the time. Gil Kane, that's another guy I'd love to ink. Oh, I love Gil Kane. And he's someone who worked with a lot of shitty inkers in the 70s. Sometimes he'd get somebody really amazing, and then a lot of times he'd just get someone shitty who didn't really understand his work. It's because he was just doing a job. Just have that attitude of I'm just working. Part of me, I envy the ability to be detached like that, but when you're such a fucking raw talent like he was, seems like a bit of a waste. Go thick in here. Make this spittle stand out more. Yeah. Trying to think of other artists. I don't know about inking, but someone who I'd have loved to just sit over their shoulder and watch them would have been Hal Foster, guy who did Prince Valiant. Recently become obsessed with him. At a stage in my life where I feel like I should have probably been into Hal Foster in my 20s, but I'm into him now. Just perch on Hal Foster's shoulder, see what he was doing. I owe my inking sort of awakening to a guy that I don't know if any of you guys know about, but Xander Cannon did a little comic back in the day called Replacement God, and now he does a comic book called Kaiju Max, which is pretty good. But I used to have a studio next to him, shared it with. I was definitely the minor partner when what I'm about to explain here, but I shared it with Brian Ewing and Gene Ha while he was working on Top 10, and I ended up doing designs for the gang graffiti and stuff for that. But
Are you gonna come in here or not?
going next door and looking at Xander Cannon ink with a brush got me more serious about my inking techniques.
The drama queen.
Is it beans?
Yes. He followed me all the way up the stairs, intermittently tentative and excited, and then didn't want to come in here, and then came in here.
Have any chats?
No. Hello, Beans.
Ooh, yeah. I am liking Beastman's beard. I think I'm going to drop some more shadow in
Why
here.
don't you settle down? Hmm?
You just hear Clarence? Just
Yeah,
heard
I
him down
heard
the hall
him
laughing.
laugh really loud. It's funny.
He's streaming too,
Oh.
I think. House full of people streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, just two people.
Yeah. Your mom's pretty up with the times, but I don't know if she would stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if she could figure it out, she'd probably have a lot of fun with it. Talking to people about whatever.
Yeah. Telling fucked up stories.
I think if she could host a pirate radio show, that would be the thing. Of course, she'd just play fucking Tool all the time.
Yeah, she not just Tool, all the Maynard things.
All the Maynard projects.
Yes. Yeah. I got a kitty cat purring really loud. I don't know if you maybe can even hear it on the stream.
I can't hear it over here, but I've heard it so much that it's almost in my genetic memory.
Yeah.
It is a cat that regularly just sits on my chest when I wake up and purrs in my face.
Paws at your beard.
Yep. I am his human.
He is a very sweet beast. Yes, he does believe that he owns you.
Wow, I'm actually really enjoying this.
Good.
What the hell?
What is wrong with you?
Who'd have thunk it? I have not been in a good way this week. I spent a lot of time kind of dissociating from myself and feeling like I was spending too much time on my computer working, doing archiving artwork, and because, you know, I have $25 years worth of archived art and turning it into stuff that I can easily use for whatever I need to use it for, while also trying to accomplish other things in my life, is a little daunting. And monotonous. The processing of it is fucking monotonous. And it kind of took a toll on my brain this week. And even going into doing those color jam things that I did, didn't really feel like that much of a vacation from it.
Does this feel like a vacation?
Yes.
Good.
Feels...
Captain says that piece is coming up great. The spittle adds so much. I agree. Love the spittle.
I love the spittle too. You know, another guy I think of looking at this is Richard Corbin. Richard Corbin taught me a lot, like looking at his stuff. Like, you know, I'm talking about all these other artists, but when it really comes down to it, I'm not a very original artist. I'm just not. I am a summary of all the artists that I love. I'm a synthesis of those things, probably not in the best way, but in a way that gets me by. That gets me to the goals that I want. I'm not original. I would not.
What does even original mean, though?
Like, yeah. I don't have my own vision. Let me put it that way. When it comes to visuals, I don't have my own vision. I am constantly calling upon my memory of other artists. And in this instance, like when it comes to sort of the shadow dimensions on Beastman's head, I think about Richard Corbin a lot.
Yeah, I see some Wrightson in this piece a little.
Well, Wrightson's in my fucking DNA at this point.
I don't know. I love it.
Thank you. No, I got the collection of his artwork titled Mutants. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And it changed my fucking life. I didn't see any of his comics for a couple of years after that. I think the next thing I saw by Wrightson was his adaptation of the Creepshow movie, which I still have my original copy of it, and it's falling apart. But his mutants thing, it blew my fucking mind as a child. The cover of it alone, the all the characters murdering Dracula, driving across through his
Go look this
chest.
up.
Yeah, look up the mutants. Bernie Wrightson. I want to repurchase it at some point because I do not have it any longer. But it has some of his work that he did for EC, work that he did for Eerie, and a lot of his own original creepier pieces. And it just so fucking good. Guy was a master of shadows and shit. But I will be sacrilegious on one account when it comes to the worship of Bernie Wrightson. I think that when Nestor Redondo took over the art on Swamp Thing, he was superior to Bernie Wrightson.
Oh wow, yeah, that cover is really cool.
They're just shoving that thing through him. This clothing is like deforming around it, and like, oh, it's just visceral.
Yeah.
Love it.
Captain said a few minutes ago, Corbin is a god.
Corbin is a god. Corbin is a fucking master. And I couldn't come around to it until like much later in my life. I actually had a similar thing with Jack Kirby where like I didn't get into Jack Kirby until I was an adult. Like maybe my late teens. And Richard Corbin was the guy who like just was like so challenged by it because the first stuff I saw by him was Den, and I was like, why am I looking at this guy with a giant dick running around killing stuff? And I wasn't ready for it when I was like 9 or 10.
I mean, like, that seems normal. It probably means that you were sort of healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, for all the fucked up shit that you'd been through.
Yeah. No doubt. I had a fucked up childhood. Not from my parents. Not from my mom. I mean, I obviously have a pretty good relationship with her since she moved in with us. And I'm able to deal with that. But, no, I grew up in a fucked up environment. But yeah, just like, why am I looking at this dude running around doing this stuff? Not even getting the whole plot of it because I was seeing it in Heavy Metal Magazine and didn't have the whole story of him being like, the Den character is this like kid who gets transformed to a alternate dimension where he's like this giant muscly big dick dude. But in real life he's mentally 13 or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like
That's crazy.
He's like Captain Marvel Shazam kind of a character. The DC Captain Marvel. But instead of just being a weird kind of Superman-ish character, he's Conan the Barbarian without hair. He's alopecia Conan. All over.
Captain says, same for me. Corbin had this weird real-life quality to his art that freaked me out as a kid.
Oh, yeah. It feels like it exists. Like, you look at it and you're like, this is real. I'm looking at some diorama. Like, it isn't even like a painting or a drawing. It's like, this is a diorama. The sense of dimension, how he created his own, custom printing process because he was pissed off at the way people were printing his artwork when he was doing commissions for magazines and shit.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, if you can't get on board with this, you do not get my work. So he literally changed the industry.
Wow.
By creating this whole process. Again, like a fucking Stoats guy. What is this guy? The guy from Boston who's a fucking engineer?
Yeah. I don't know his name.
I can't remember his name.
Tom something.
Yeah, Tom Stoats or some weird shit like that. But the guy from the band Boston, he's an engineer and he totally fucking changed everything. He created this fucking multi-frequency guitar shit. Um, but yeah, Corbin did similar shit, but in the comic and fantasy art industries, where like he was like, yeah, you don't get to have my work unless you get on board with my printing method, which makes my colors the kind of saturation and blend that I want, which is a baller fucking move. But yeah, I am not me as an artist. I'm whatever came before me, translated into trying to get my ideas out of my head. The me part of drawing is what I'm depicting and how I'm choosing to depict it. Everything else, technique, yeah, I guess that's the way to think about it. Technique, it's all other people. It's all other people that I love. All other people that are way better than me.
Cat is ridiculous. Oh, I wish I had a camera feed over here.
That happened last time too, where it was like we should have cat
He's
feed.
flopped down on me with his legs like splayed out and just like demanding if I stop petting him. He like puts his nose in my hands and forces me to pet him. He's very happy.
Inking all this fur is a little weird.
It looks really good.
Yeah? Doesn't look overdone?
No. It looks luxurious, like you could just bury your hands in it.
Mm. Gotta have sympathy for these beastly men.
I mean, you know I do. I married you after all.
Yeah. I wish I was in this good shape though, Jesus.
Yeah, well, you know.
You know, I'd have extra long arms too if I could be in this good shape.
Oh, you're saying you would trade
Yeah.
extra long arms for being in that good of shape?
Mm-hmm. In a monkey face?
Yeah, I don't know about the monkey face. That might be where I would draw the line, but you know.
You wouldn't kiss me if I had a blue lip monkey face?
I mean, I can't say for sure, but it's doubtful. I mean, I do dig the gorilla dimensions, but like, I don't know about gorilla face.
I'm busting up the pen towel. Oh, it's really sticky. There we go. Ooh, I just bumped everything. Whoa. Oh, that works.
Yeah, it's fine. Or wait, I don't. There's a delay, so. Oh, Captain says, I'd love to see. He says, not at all about something bad you probably said about yourself. And then he said, I'd love to see you draw a Moss Man versus Swamp Thing piece.
Oh. Tell you what, it would be even fun, like more fun. Moss Man, because you know they're all kind of hippie characters. Moss Man, Swamp Thing, and Beachcomber from Transformers, all having a picnic.
I love it.
Beachcomber with a giant ukulele. Like, it'd be like a ukulele the size of a person. I actually think the Moss Man focused episode of the original He-Man cartoon, the Filmation cartoon, was really good. Big environmentalist message, but it was really good.
I don't remember. I have a hard time remembering specific episodes of He-Man.
I treat it all as like a lesson I'm learning.
Yeah.
Like I want to.
Well, I was younger than you, so like you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've rewatched it
Yeah.
so many times.
I've rewatched it like maybe once.
And I just sort of want to learn, like, this is something that worked somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how fucking ridiculous I think it is,
Yeah, because it is insane.
it's absolute madness. It's fucking acid trip shit.
Uh-huh.
But no matter how insane it is, like, it made it on TV. It sold crazy amounts of toys. And I want to learn something from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like, that's how I feel about that stuff. And so like, you know, watching any of those episodes, rewatching them, I'm like, I want to know what makes this. I want to know what did this. You know, and I think stuff like that Moss Man episode is really good. Whereas like, there's like this creeping vine thing, and He-Man had to help him figure out how to do it, but Moss Man is a pacifist, so dealing with it with him was a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if anybody watching can guess actually who my favorite Masters of the Universe character is. Carrie knows, I think.
I know.
And it's funny because it's related to my love for a certain Fourth World character too.
Well, a certain genre of fantasy creature, shall we?
Yes. Well, no, you're wrong.
Am I?
You're wrong then. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
It's not Merman?
It's not Merman.
Oh, I thought Merman was your favorite.
No.
Because you got that whole thing for mer creatures.
I do. Merman holds giant big places in my heart. But no, it's not Merman.
Is it Ram Man?
No.
Captain asks.
No.
No one ever picks Ram. I love Ram Man. I don't know if I could say that I have a favorite Motu at this point, but I do love me some Ram Man.
When I was adding Motu characters to my list of potential things to draw, I purposefully omitted Ram.
Oh, he guessed Hordak.
Nope, not Hordak. Not Hordak. I don't think anyone.
Are you just gonna tell us?
All right. Who? So he guessed Hordak. Anyone else gonna guess?
Anybody else gonna guess?
How many people are watching? 4 still?
Yeah.
I might as well just say it. It's Zodak.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
Zodak is my favorite.
Zodak. Yeah, because he was in that piece that you did.
Yeah, I did a Zodak piece.
Merman and Zodak.
Yep.
That I got checks printed with his art, and that's one of the ones I picked. And I enjoy the reactions. Not that I ever write fucking checks anymore, but like I've gotten some fun reactions from people. From like, what the fuck is this? And then I have that one of I think my favorite one as a check is it's the one from your Short Dreams series of the giant old lady emerging from the ocean eating a aircraft carrier, which is a cake.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm an insomniac, and I've gotten it relatively under control in recent years.
Thanks to Lion's Mane.
Holy shit, Lion's Mane. If you have an insomnia problem, get some fucking Lion's Mane supplements and down that shit. 2 a day. Do it.
And yeah, he just takes them in the morning. You know, it does something that helps him regulate.
Yep, regulates my shit.
He's just like, he'll sleep 8 hours.
Yep, well, sometimes 6.
But better than it used to be.
Way better than it used to be. But, what were we talking about? But yeah, I'm an insomniac, and I had some really bad bouts when we were living in this apartment complex in Stevens Square in South Minneapolis. And I actually, up to a certain point, can enjoy my insomnia because I hallucinate. and I enjoy hallucinating. And I have micro naps and stuff like that. Real fun stuff. And this one time I had all these micro naps, and I actually was like writing down what was in them.
Because there'd be like a just like a flash of a dream.
Yeah, like really weird shit too. There's one with like Ronald Reagan and Katharine Hepburn. All this stuff. I wrote down 10 of them. I only made comic strips out of 5. But those 5, I really love them. It's some of the favorite things I've ever done in my life. Very personal. And I pulled out all the stops as far as technique goes. Did some digital painting. Did some weird cartooning. Did some digital manipulation cartooning where I really fucked up my drawings on purpose to give it an extra ugly flavor. But yeah, that lasted about a week. I think that really bad bout. Hard to remember. Got some belches going on here.
How uncivilized.
I am really liking this Beast Man. Holy
He's
shit.
great.
What the fuck?
Oh, Captain says that Zodak was too esoteric for him as a kid.
That's why I liked him. I like the weird sort of like, I'm exploring the universe.
I didn't even remember Zodak.
He rode around on a chair just like that character.
I mean, I do now because we rewatched it, but
Yeah.
like I didn't remember him from when I was a kid.
No, I absolutely loved Zodak. I loved his weird head. And he's weird because he's all techno and stuff, but he's got like monster hands. So like he's got claw monster hands, and it's like, what the fuck's going on, bro?
What is this guy?
He's got like investments in multiple aspects of humanity.
Captain says very much like Metron.
Metron, that's exactly it. Like from the Fourth World, yeah. Metron from Fourth World, which Metron is the coolest part, as far as I'm concerned. Metron is the coolest part of the Teen Titans Uncanny X-Men crossover from the 80s. From that Walter Simonson illustrated. That shit, his part was really fucking dope, where he goes up to this like crazy wall where all these giant heads in the universe are like hanging out. It's like really fucking weird. Loved it.
Captain says, I love him now, but as a 6-year-old, not so much.
Yeah, I was attracted to him as a 6-year-old. I don't know what it was.
You were a weird fucking kid.
I was a super weird kid. I mean, look at what I do.
Yeah. I mean, I was a weird kid, but in a different direction.
I don't know what it was. I mean, I blame my mom a little bit. Whatever. Credit. Because, when I asked for comic books, she gave me, like, Robert Crumb and Heavy Metal magazine and stuff when I was, like, 5. Way too young to be seeing that shit, but now I'm like, whatever. I don't feel like I'm a totally broken human being. Maybe I am. I have my perversions under control for the most part. I'm not running around soliciting monkeys. Or something. Making up a lot of shit over here, and it's so weird. I just bumped the camera with my head. Apologies. Again, it's a very tight fit in these parts.
And your head is giant.
A very large cranium.
It
It's not even funny.
is kind of funny. Actually, it's not. If your head was any smaller, it would look really ridiculous on your body.
Yeah, you say that.
I mean it.
Okay. Pardon me. I think a big obvious one would be Jack Kirby as far as inking.
Mm.
I've actually meant to try to, because so much of Jack Kirby's stuff still exists as pencils. You can go find it out there at pretty high resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep thinking about, like, I should go find a Jack Kirby piece and join the club of, like, oh, hey, look, I chose to ink a Jack Kirby drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And I never do it. I don't know why. I think because part of it be hard to choose, maybe? I think another part of it is, like, there's a whole kind of micro industry within comic fandom around just sort of like, hey, I love Jack Kirby and look what I did to tribute Jack Kirby.
Mm.
And I don't see anything so special about it at that point. Maybe I'm wrong for wanting to be special. That looks better.
Oh, Captain said Walt Simonson's art is magnificent in that book.
It is. It is. There's an interesting thing that, like a lot of things at that point, they did a little. They did it in the Teen Titans versus Uncanny X-Men. DC Marvel crossover, spectacular. They did a playoff of, like, what can we do with reintroducing Dark Phoenix, because Dark Phoenix happened like a year ago or whatever. Which everyone wanted a little piece of that because it was such a big fucking sensation, and I think it's worthy of that sensation. Not saying it's not. Um, but on the cover of it, I can't remember what movie it's from, but the figure that Walter Simonson draws of Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix, with these sharp teeth, that I think inspired a lot of Mignola's kind of darkness.
Mm.
A couple years later, maybe a couple decades later, really. This came out like 82, 81, 82, maybe 83 at the latest, but I don't even think it was that late. That was actually ripped. The entire thing was ripped from a movie poster for some horror movie from the late 60s. And I have it in my trash cinema book. I wouldn't have known about it if not for that book.
Cool.
It's like, wait a minute. Walter Simonson used his exact same pose on the cover of the X-Men versus Teen Titans. Yeah, I believe Deathstroke's in that
I
book.
think the cat wants to leave.
Oh. Does he know? I think it was some sort of like witchcraft horror kind of thing, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'd have to grab the book, which I don't think is up in the studio. It might be, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think it's down in our library.
We need to finish organizing the library.
We do. We need to not have a bunch of crap in there to do
Yeah,
it.
that's getting worked on. Maybe, at this point, I think, well, actually, if I feel good in the morning, if I get up and paint right away in the morning, we could install that shower tomorrow after
Really?
painting. That's what's in our library right now is the boxes with the shower enclosure for our upstairs bathroom that we've been working on.
Well, you've been working on it.
Yeah.
I've had no part of it because I'm a lazy fuck.
Well, you helped with the demo in August when we started this project.
Yeah.
It
It's a long time ago.
was, but hey, I figure as long as I'm not as bad as my dad, it's okay. My dad once
Oh
purchased.
shit! I took off the finger guard and I never returned it. Oh well. Beastman's whip in this drawing does not have
I thought
hand
that
guard.
finger guard was dumb anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Is that what you really thought?
that's what I thought. So fuck it.
Does anyone agree that the finger guard is dumb? In the chat.
Does anyone else have a hot take on the finger guard? On
His
Beastman's whip?
having a finger guard.
But anyway, my dad, this was probably 20 years ago now, but they had bought a different house after me and well, no, it was right when I was moving out. So there was still the other three of my siblings. And he decided he wanted to add an addition to the bathroom to put in a jacuzzi tub. And he purchased a jacuzzi tub, and it sat in the box in the basement for like 8 years before he finally did the thing. So I figure I'm all right.
Yeah, you're definitely not on your dad's level as far as
No.
procrastination.
That is like master level procrastination right there.
some reason I just had a flashback to when we went to the Smithsonian and ate at that weird cafeteria.
Oh, at the Native American Museum.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
good.
That was really good. I was glad my friend Brandon from high school told us that we should, even if we don't have time to go through the Native American Museum, to eat in their cafeteria because they have like a sampling of a whole bunch of different native foods, and it was awesome.
Which, we did look at some of it and it was great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We didn't see as much as I would have liked to, but
Yeah.
we were there. We basically what happened was I don't remember what year it was. It was like maybe 2015 or 16,
Mm-hmm.
and
We were there during a crazy
we got a
blizzard.
polar vortex
Yeah.
here.
Where everything, even down to Florida, was a
It-
little bit cold.
It was ridiculously cold, and I wasn't working, and I was like, fuck this shit, let's go south. So we're like, well, let's go to DC, and then go down the coast and go to Florida. And so we went to DC for like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cold there too. It was like
Yep.
30.
In Georgetown. We
Um,
were walking around fully gotten up into the winter clothing.
yeah. And yeah, we didn't hit 70 degrees until we got to like the Florida Keys.
Yep. The lower Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Upper was still in the 60s.
It was really stupid.
But we had some fun there too.
That was a great trip.
Hmm.
But if you haven't done the Florida Keys, they're fantastic. Except don't bother with Key West because it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, Key West is
It's a
a horror.
shithole.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
It's like just a place where assholes go to fucking be assholes, and it's like Las
Dump their
Vegas,
psychic trash.
except it's on a beautiful island. So instead of just being a shithole city in the desert, it's like they've despoiled this beautiful island. It just was very. It was not. It was not a fun experience, but I'm glad I had it. I guess.
Similar to Slab City.
Yeah.
So Slab City was a epic level of that.
Yes.
I would say Slab City is a place people should visit
Indeed.
as a warning sign.
Yeah.
But you can just avoid Key West.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do have a regret, and which might mean I might have to go back there someday. Because we walked through there. There's like a little shopping mall there, and there was this dude in like a kiosk selling souvenirs,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the souvenirs was an ashtray that was a toilet, and it just said Key West on it. I was like, fuck, this is like the most perfect fucking encapsulation of what this place is.
Perfect tchotchke.
Yes, I should have bought it, but I was like so mad about the whole day. I was just like, I fucking hate this place. I don't want to give them my money at all.
Keep bumping the camera with my head because it's on the lamp. I wish we had a better setup, but whatever. Beast Man. Serving me well.
Beast man?
I have the power up now, Beast Man. Lick my toes, Beast Man. I'm feeling a little peckish. Beast Man, give me some Haagen-Dazs. I'm having a craving, Beast Man.
It's my time of the month.
I didn't say that one.
Come on, you know Skeletor menstruates.
Oh, snap. This is working pretty good so far. Yeah. Looks Ross ever draw He-Man?
I don't know, let's see.
I inked a piece of
Yes, and
You
it's
did?
pretty epic.
Nice.
It looks like the movie version.
Oh,
Oh, here's another one.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, it kind of looks like him. I don't know. It's very oiled up, like bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And there's a few pieces. They're good.
Sweet.
This big one. There's a big scene of all the characters like in action, and it's really cool.
I don't doubt it.
I have to pee again.
Damn it. I'm almost done.
Sweet. Are you gonna come back in here and be indecisive?
Any new chats?
Tell you in a minute. In a minute, in a minute, in a minute, in a minute. No, no new chats.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, that cold water tastes good. You gonna come back up here, kitty? Hmm? Captain says, I'm just mesmerized looking at everything coming together.
Mm. So, Captain, tell me, what exactly is your comic going to be about? Without revealing anything that would be spoilery about it. Give me an elevator pitch. And if you already said this on the internet and I missed it, I apologize because my attention's all over the fucking place.
Beans, what are you doing? He's down behind this little table. He just hit his head jumping out. You goon.
Damn it. Cat hair.
He says it's about a type of Frankenstein girl that was created to be a sex object but escapes and goes on to live crazy adventures through the ages. That sounds super fun.
So, like, Eternal Frankenhooker? That sounds amazing, actually.
Yeah. Sort of like what if sex dolls became sentient? Sort of an idea. In response to your Frankenhooker thing, he says almost. With a smiley face.
I have not actually seen Frankenhooker, which I feel very remiss about.
I didn't realize that was a real thing. I just thought it was something you just said because it was funny.
No, Frankenhooker is a real movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's supposedly absolutely amazing satire, like just fucking crazy good. There's two late 80s, early 90s Frankenstein sort of riffs that I really want to see that I've never seen. One is Frankenhooker, and the other is Frankenstein Unbound,
Mm.
where the only thing I know about Frankenstein Unbound is that it kind of takes place in the future, and he beats somebody with his own arm.
Oh, okay.
He like rips his own arm off and beats somebody with it, which sounds hilarious.
Yeah. He says first 5 issues will be inspired by the Universal monsters, and each issue will be self-contained with a backup feature.
Oh, nice.
Sounds great.
That sounds awesome. All I have left to do is the fucking whip. What the
Fucking
fuck?
whip.
How much time did I spend on this, like dawdling around too?
Uh, yeah, we're at 3:46. Well, now actually it would be like more like 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Plus 4 pinups showing a key scene of one of her untold adventures. Nice.
Well, if you want me to do a pinup, you could definitely tap me for that. I'd be glad to contribute. You just have to give me the content of what it's going to be.
Then there will be an adult version with 4 more pinups explicit and 1 more backup issue.
Mm. I'm not against the explicit stuff. I actually have an adult comic as a backup development.
He says I was hoping you'd offer to do one.
Yeah, definitely. I would just have to know what the concepts were and then be able to pick. I wouldn't charge you anything. Just do it. So long as I could pick. Ew. Fuck that up.
DM you a bunch of scenes and you pick any you want.
Awesome.
And thank you so much.
That's no problem.
I won't ever forget that. Who's sitting behind you?
Goofy. Cat. Oh, I just had the earring thing happen.
Mm.
Hate that. And I think we're done.
What?
Just gotta sign it. What do y'all think about fucking that? Jesus.
That looks awesome. Captain says, wow!
There it is. It's fucking finished. I look forward to your DM about the pinup thing. And I hope everyone who showed up had a good time watching me draw this thing. And I'm gonna call it good night.
I feel like today has been a great day thanks to you.
Oh, that's super sweet.
Sweet.
Let me
Thanks, everyone.
Let me switch over to the camera here. I'll say goodbye to everyone with my face, if you can see it.
What?
Oh, the lights are off.
Oh, yeah, you gotta turn your lights on without destroying everything.
Without destroying everything. That's a big one. A big task.
That's our
Like that. I don't know. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.